Going on, everybody? It's Rob, and we are still doing this $1,000 buy-in on Underdog, the Mastiff. We have started with a team that not a lot of people are in agreement with, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down, and more importantly, we're going to make our next two picks. Let's get it.
3, 2, 1, liftoff.
So, as I mentioned, not a lot of people have been super excited with some of the picks we've made in this team. And I'm going to pull up the board and we're going to talk about a couple of them first. We'll break down what we have for a team. Currently, we'll talk about what picks we've made, what we like, what we don't like, and all of the fun stuff. So, right now, our team, we went Tony Pollard, Patrick Mahomes, Deebo Samuel, Breece Hall, George Kittle, J.K. Dobbins out of the 112 spot to start this draft. And people are not happy with a couple of the picks here, but the one I want to talk about right now, most importantly, is this J.K. Dobbins pick where we took him in this 5-6 turn area. We took him in the 6th round, first pick of the 6th. And people were not thrilled about it. We got a few comments about that pick. And let's just break it down really fast. So if you look right here, you got to remember what tournament we're in, first of all. We're in the Mastiff. We're advancing 6 out of 12 teams out of this first round. Then we're advancing 3 out of 6. Then we're advancing 2 out of 4 to get through these tournaments. If you look at J.K. Dobbins, you look at his ADP in the Mastiff, it's 67.9. We took him at pick 61. We only took him a few spots ahead of ADP. So our next pick was 84. There was no chance we were getting J.K. Dobbins coming back in the 7th, at the end of the 7th, 8th round here on Underdog. It's already hard enough to get him on Underdog at that price. This isn't DraftKings. In this particular tournament, there was a 0% chance. After we took Dobbins, we do see Miles Sanders, David Montgomery, Javonte Williams, James Conner, Rashad White, DeAndre Swift. J.K. Dobbins would have gone on one of those picks here for sure. So I actually don't hate taking that pick. We took George Kittle. We made a bet on the San Francisco 49ers with him and Deebo. People are a little nervous about the wide receiver room, which I say, fair point. But what we did is we locked up the other 3 positions. I'm pretty happy with the way we started this team overall. And we're going to start looking at this board now. So having Mahomes, we know that we do not even need to look at the quarterback position on this team currently. We took Kittle. All the bigger tight ends are gone now. So if you liked Dallas Goedert, Waller, or Kyle Pitts, those guys are all gone. Pitts went in the 7th here. Maybe there's a discussion there if he's still around, but he's not. So there's no reason to take a quarterback. There's no reason to take a tight end. We have 3 running backs. We have 1 wide receiver. So the question becomes, what do we want to do with these 2 picks? Do we want to take another running back on the board where we see Alvin Kamara sitting there, right? He's got a 3-game suspension. I think we have enough firepower to get through. I know Breece Hall and J.K. Dobbins people are worried about. I'm not super worried about Dobbins at all. And Hall, I think, is actually going to be fine as well. So if I were to go running back, I think my pick would be to go with Alvin Kamara. So let's put that in our back pocket. But now we need to look at wide receiver. And we do see that Jahan Dotson has fallen here a little bit. We're at pick 84 and 85. He's an ADP of 75. He correlates with San Francisco. I like Jahan Dotson quite a bit. But we also see that Quentin Johnson's there, Treylon Burks, Elijah Moore, Sky Moore, Cortland Sutton, Kadarius Toney, Rashad Bateman. I like all of these guys. I think that by taking Dobbins, I'm even more comfortable now with seeing what's left on the board here. So the question for me is, which of these 2 wide receivers do we want? As much as I like Kamara, I think that we can bypass taking Kamara here and we can take 2 of these wide receivers in a range of wide receivers that we still like a ton. So what makes the most sense for us? And as much as I like Quentin Johnson, I'm okay with Traylon Burks. I'm okay with Elijah Moore. I like Cortland Sutton more than others, and I'm starting to like him even more again. I think he might, with the move of Mims coming up, I think that Cortland Sutton is starting to become the most value-worthy Denver Bronco, if that makes sense. I think he's just going to be on the field all the time. I think where you can get him at the end of the 8th, 9th round sometimes is a great spot. So I do like that pick as well. What I think I want to do here, though, is I think I want to grab Jahan Dotson, and I think I want to grab Sky Moore, because I do not think Sky Moore is going to make it back with the news of his camp, how he's been seen running with the ones a lot. I don't think there's a chance that he makes it back to us at all. I think for sure that this Thunder Mountain Dew from the 2 spot, if somehow Sky Moore slid all the way down there, he would be looking at him as his bring back for sure. So I just, where he has Burrow and Jamar Chase, I don't think Sky Moore ever makes it back to us here. And I think there's a slight little outside chance that some of these other wide receivers we like could potentially make it back. Probably not going to happen, but I think there's like just a little chance of it happening. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead, we're going to select Jahan Dotson, and we're going to grab Sky Moore as well to stack up with Mahomes. And that's going to be the roster for the moment. So at the moment, we have Tony Pollard, Patrick Mahomes, Deebo Samuel, Breece Hall, George Kittle, J.K. Dobbins, Jahan Dotson, and Sky Moore. That is the order of it. If we want to take a look at what we have going on for our playoff view, we have now built a Deebo, Jahan Dotson, George Kittle stack for Week 17. Still have plenty of options to do a bunch of other things with this team. But once again, I just read it in draft order. Let's read it in position order. Mahomes, Pollard, Breece Hall, J.K. Dobbins, Deebo, Jahan Dotson, Sky Moore, and George Kittle. So I think this team is pretty fun. I think we can build a really solid team to definitely get out of the first round and then start making real moves in the playoffs of this $1,000 buy-in tournament, $20,000 up top, and I think we're off to a great start. So that is going to do it for this episode of the Mastiff Draft. This one was a little bit more straightforward, a little bit easier. The picks seem to just kind of make sense here to me. I do think you can make a case for other wide receivers here. I do think you could make a case for Kamara if you wanted to. But at the end of the day, I just think that Dotson, Sky Moore were the layups in the round here that we definitely needed to take. So that is going to do it for us right now. I hope that you guys are enjoying this series where we're drafting a $1,000 buy-in team. Definitely the most money I've ever spent on a best ball team, and I like the way it's going so far, I'll be honest. So until another few days when we get our next 2 picks, I'll catch you later. Peace. Woo! Those were some spicy takes. Want to stay up to date with all of the other spicy takes we're going to have over here at Spike Week? Why don't you press that subscribe button below? You turn notifications on, we draft a team, boom, you know about it. We have another spicy take, boom, you know about it. You can be there. You can draft with us. You want to stay up to date? That's how you do it. All right, we'll catch you later next time here at Spike Week.